So, good evening once again. So, in your
Good evening,
previous,
sir.
very good evening. In the previous class, we are discussing about duties of the director. I think that part is incomplete. Is it not? So, let me share the screen.
Yes, sir.
Let us quickly go through the syllabus once again. Then we'll see which portions are still left out. Then we'll be covering it. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are still in Unit 2, disqualifications and appointment, number of directorships, duties. Yeah, this duty part we are covering. Then we'll move to this register of members. This is one more area. Then we'll go to the meeting part. So duties we'll complete today. Then we'll understand this register of members. Fine. So this is the duties of the director. So let me tell you one thing. In the earlier law, that is Companies Act 1956, you must be knowing. That was the earlier law, is it not? Prior to this law, prior to this act, we had Companies Act 1956. In that act, these directors' duties were not codified. That means nowhere it is specified that this is the duty of the director. But in Companies Act 2013, first time, the duties of the director has been codified. That means this is how they have to perform in the board meeting, right? So these are the duties which we had discussed earlier, broadly codified duties that he has to act according to the articles of association of the company and according to the Companies Act. He has to act in good faith for the achievement of the objects of the company. Okay, he needs to exercise the due diligence, reasonable care and skill. All these things he has to use. He shall not involve in the situation which have direct or indirect interest. If he is interested in a particular contract or particular assignment, he should not participate in that voting, that discussion. He should not achieve any undue gain or advantages. This part also we have discussed. Not only he, his relatives, partners, associates, they should not also achieve any kind of direct or indirect gain or advantage from the company. If at all they achieve, they need to return it. He should not assign his office also. If at all he assigns, then this assignment will be void. Right? This part up to this, I think we had discussed. And if somebody violates these conditions, violations will involve punishment up to 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. Right? Okay, this part we have discussed. Then there are some other duties, some other related duties. We are supposed to discuss all these things. Right? First of all, to file various documents. As a director, you are responsible that from time to time various documents needs to be filed with registrar of the companies. So that is one of the responsibilities. The director needs to be careful about filing of the documents. Okay. Second is that he has to convene general meeting. You know, Companies Act needs to convene general meeting. You know what is a general meeting? That means meetings of
Annual general meeting, sir, which is annually
It
conducted.
may be annual general meeting or maybe it may be extraordinary general meeting also. Right.
Extraordinary means
But
in a special condition for a
in
special purpose.
certain situation, you see,
Yeah.
normally general meeting is an annual event. But when you say general meeting, that means we are not talking about the board meeting. That means who are going to participate in that meeting are members.
Members.
So general meeting means members meeting. Board meeting is different. Okay, to convene general meeting. So minimum one general meeting has to be convened and directors are responsible to convene that general meeting. Second thing is that, or if required, then extraordinary general meeting also can be called. Okay, if certain things has to be performed, general meeting, you see, Companies Act, there are certain activities where power is given to the shareholders to take decisions. Right? If that kind of decision is required and general meeting will, let us say, it will take some time to call general meeting. Okay, in a normal course, let us say annual general meeting is due after a long time. then an extraordinary general meeting can be called. Right? Because decisions can only be taken by members. So without calling a meeting of the members, it's not possible to take a decision. Okay, understood. Then one more requirement, this is important requirement, that is requirement number 3. Can you read this requirement? Third item. What is this third?
So company to hold at least 4 board meetings.
Yeah. So to attend board meeting, that is the
between
responsibility. So companies, this is again board requirement. Every year, at least 4 board meeting needs to be held. Meaning every quarter, at least 1 board meeting needs to be held. So directors are responsible to organize holding of this board meeting. Right? 4 board meetings have to be held every year, and the gap between 2 board meetings should not exceed 120 days. So every quarter you have to organize board meeting in such a way that the gap between one board meeting to another board meeting should not exceed 120 days. Maximum period of gap can be 120 days. Okay? Okay. And it is expected that directors should attend that meeting. If for some reason, what will happen is, let us say, absent for 12 months. That means for the entire year the director is absent. Okay, then it will be deemed that he has vacated his office. That means he is no more the director. Are you getting? 4 board meetings are must. Okay, directors are expected to attend all these board meetings. But if at all, if in any case he is not attending all the meetings which are held during 12 months, then he will be vacating his office. Okay. Right.
Sir,
yes.
Directors get salary also, sir?
Maybe, may not be. Okay. If he is an executive director, full-time director, then he gets salary. Okay. But sometimes directors are appointed without salary also. Many companies appoint without salary. In that case, sometimes they pay some honorarium kind of thing. Or sometimes they pay something called as sitting fee. So when they'll be called for a meeting, they'll be paid a fee which is called as the sitting fee. Okay, but it's not necessary that all the directors will be getting salary.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that is one thing. And second thing is that again, when you are using the word salary, you see, it is not necessary that always there is a kind of employer-employee relationship between director and the company. Okay.
Okay.
If it is an executive director, then definitely he is an employee of the company. But a non-executive director need not be an employee of the company. Then if he is not an employee, the question of salary doesn't arise. He might be getting directorship fee, directorship commission, or a sitting fee kind of thing, but may not be necessarily a salary. Okay.
Sir.
Now, one more requirement is that directors, one more duty is that director need to disclose his interest. Right? If there is some decision is going to be taken as regards to a contract or as regards to any kind of transaction in which directors or his relatives are interested, then it is a duty of the director to disclose that he is interested in that contract. Company can take a decision to our contract with that particular party, but if a director is interested, it is his duty to disclose the interest. Okay? Right? Now, one more requirement is that
Sir, how many directors must attend the meeting?
How many directors
should attend the meeting? All the list of directors, or any director? How many directors?
See, once he is a director, it is his duty to attend meeting. Once you are a director, it is his duty to attend the meeting. If he is not attending all the meetings during the period of 12 months, his office will be vacated. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's it. But how many directors, that doesn't matter now. How many directors will be discussing when we will be discussing about the quorum part? That's a different thing.
Okay, sir.
Coming to the duty of the director, it is his duty to attend all the meetings.
To attend the all meetings.
But again, it is up to him. He may decide not to attend. Okay, if he's not attending, then fine. But if he continuously doesn't attend for 12 months, then his office will be automatically vacated. It is up to him to take a decision. Right?
Okay, fine, sir. Right,
Up to
sir.
him. It is up to him to take a decision, but nobody can force, no, you have to attend. I cannot say that. Okay. If he wants, he can absent.
Okay.
Let us say the 4 board meetings are held or 5 board meetings are held. Minimum 4 has to be held. 5 board meetings are held. The director is absent only in all the 4 meetings, but are present in only in 1 meeting. That's okay. His office will not be deemed to be vacated. It is expected that he should attend all the board meetings. But by any reason, if he is absent for the entire year, entire period of 12 months, then his office will be vacated. Okay. Now,
Okay, sir.
then one more duty is to approve the financial statements. So you must have seen in the various companies' annual report, they publish the financial statements. That means balance sheet, statement of profit and loss account, statement of profit and loss, cash flow, statement of changes in equity, all these things. Right? That is called the annual statement. So if you see this annual statement, you must be fine. At least 2 directors must have signed on behalf of the board. What they do on behalf of the board, they approve those financial statements. Okay. After that, it goes to the auditor, and auditor audits and attests that financial statement. So this is one of the
Sir, somebody, there is a background noise, sir. Request to mute all persons.
Yeah.
Sir, there is a background noise.
Please, yeah.
Someone is in traffic.
In case there is some background,
So Manu bhai, आप traffic में है क्या?
in case there is some background noise, please mute your speaker. Otherwise, you may keep it unmuted. But in case there is some background noise, please mute your speakers. You can unmute and talk, then again remute it. Okay, friends.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So
Sorry.
this duty we are talking about, the approve the financial statement. This is one of the duties. The financial statement needs to be approved. Right? That is balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, all these things needs to be approved by the directors. Then to approve or attach board report. You must have seen in the company's annual statements, annual reports, that board reports are attached to the financial statement. Okay, the board of directors report, that also every year that also gets uploaded in the with the register of companies. So they have to prepare the board report, approve or attach the board report. That is one of the duties. Okay. Then one more duty is that board report means board of directors report, or popularly called as directors report. Okay. So any company, you can download their annual report. You can find it out. There will be definitely one particular chapter or few pages will be there in the name of directors report. That is the duty of the director to prepare and attach that directors. Okay. I think most of you must have seen the annual report of the company. So you can find this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next, one more duty is to appoint first director. Sorry, first auditors. Auditors are normally appointed by shareholders, but the first auditor needs to be appointed by the board of directors. So when the company is formed, within 30 days, they have to appoint an auditor who will be the first auditor. So it is a responsibility or it's a duty of the director to appoint the first auditor. Okay. Right.
Sir,
so yes,
sir, the director and CA should be different, sir, or same can act? CA can act as auditor.
No. Auditor should be outsider. He cannot be the director of the
outsider.
Auditor means that's why we call it as the independent auditor. He should not
independent
be
auditor.
In no way should be related with the company. Auditor is independent.
Okay, sir.
Okay, he cannot be director. He cannot be employee. He cannot be anything. He should be unconnected.
So CS also to be appointed, sir. Yeah, CS.
No.
Auditor, okay, sir. There should be CS also, no, for company. Chartered
CS,
accountant.
company secretaries.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a requirement.
No, that. Okay.
There is a requirement in those kind of companies, not for all companies. For certain companies,
Okay.
I have to check it. I think when the paid up capital exceeds 5 crore, one need to appoint a company secretary, full-time company secretary.
The CS is an employee of the company, but the auditor is not an employee.
Now, auditor is not an employee of the company. Auditor
Okay.
is an
CA is
outsider.
employee.
Company
Auditor is
secretary
outsider.
is an audit. Company secretary is an employee.
Okay,
Right?
sir.
With this, the
Right.
duties of the auditors are completed. Sorry, duty of the directors are completed. These are the duty of the
Directors.
directors. We have taken the list. Okay. Next part,
Okay.
your syllabus says that register of members. We need to understand a register of the members, or this is also called as register of shareholders. Shareholders are basically members. But before that, we need to know under Companies Act, these are the list of registers which needs to be maintained. These are called statutory registers. That means every company is statutorily required to keep all these members and in particular formats. Okay. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Please read these registers, register names.
The register of members.
Okay, that is one register. Then
Register of debenture holders
or security holders.
and other security holders.
Yes. Then foreign register of members, debenture holders,
Debenture
security
holders, other security
Regist-
holders.
Yes. Register of directors,
Register of directors,
key management personnel
key
and their
managerial
shareholding,
personnel.
index of
Okay,
members, register of
Sir.
renewed and duplicate share certificate, register of sweat equity shares, register of ESOPs, employee stock options, register of shares, other securities bought back, then register of charges, then register of loans, guarantees, securities, etc. Register of investment held not in the name of the company. So these 12 registers are the mandatory registers. So one should know that every company must have this kind of registers because it's a legal requirement.
Statutory.
Okay.
Legal.
Okay, and different formats are there. Normally, since it's a legal requirement, normally what happens? Many companies they keep a you can say standard one kind of register book is available. Just wait a minute. I will see if it is available. I will be able to show you. Okay,
Okay,
just wait a minute. Let me check. It may be
Okay,
available
sir.
in my office.
Okay. क्या रघु भाई?
रघु भाई सो गए हैं।
बोलिए
पर मनु भाई
तारिक
क्या
भाई।
ट्रैफिक में है? नहीं, वो
हाँ,
मनु
अब
भाई का
सुनाई दे रहा?
आवाज-
अभी आवाज सुनाई दे रहा है?
वो पूरा
मनु भाई
अभी
वो
नहीं आ
घूम
रहा
रहे
है।
हैं।
अभी किधर है?
अभी
बट
आ
आपका
रहे हैं
वीडियो
बस
ऑन में है, वीडियो ऑफ कीजिए।
Okay, now you
मनु
are
भाई
seeing
आपका
it.
वीडियो बंद कीजिए, थोड़ा हमारा नेट बैंडविड्थ कम है सर।
हाँ?
नो सर,
No, you are seeing the video.
मनु भाई आपका वीडियो बंद कीजिए।
Okay, you see.
बंद हो गया मेरा?
Are you seeing a register?
यस सर।
नो सर, वी आर नॉट सीइंग द रजिस्टर।
No, this register you are able to
ओके,
see.
माय इंटरनेट इज स्लो आई थिंक।
यस सर।
Can you see a register? Okay, normally what
नहीं
happens
दिख रहा है
is,
सर।
are you able to see this thing?
Yes,
Blue
yes, sir.
color register.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happens normally since all these things are statutory registers, so one bound book is available in some law bookstores. You can find out this book. It contains all the registers. You see, all the registers format wise. You can open this side. You can see these files. All these
Sir, it
registers
is a
are.
printed format,
This
sir.
is printed. This is printed. Different registers are in different
Sir,
format. For example,
Sir,
you
it
want
is all
register of
register or
members.
it is having all 12 registers.
Yeah, all registers in one place. Suppose you
But
are
all
looking
register in one.
one
Okay.
register. Okay. Normally, because a statutory register it will be
Okay,
difficult to maintain all these things. So therefore, these kind of registers are normally purchased. Okay, let us say register of
Okay.
members. This particular, you see, this here it is written members. You can see it clearly.
Sir. Okay, sir.
Now, whether you will be able to read it or not. Are you able to read it?
मेरा वीडियो बंद करो। Yes, sir. We are able to see, sir. Yes, sir. There are the names written.
The name of the register. Let us say members register you want to open.
Separate.
Let us say I am opening registers of members.
Okay.
Okay. You see, this is the register of members.
Okay, sir. List of members.
This is a register
Yes,
of
sir. We
members.
are able to see.
Sir,
Okay.
who are the members?
So there, this company, it varies from company to company. It varies from company to company. Okay, so like this, if you purchase one particular register like this, it will take care of all this. This is register of members.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and like this, you see, column-wise data is column-wise. This data has to be filled up. I'll be telling you what are the content of this thing. Okay. Now let us go back to our slides. Okay. Now you have understood all these registers needs to be
Yes, sir.
maintained. All these registers needs to be maintained, and different formats
These
are
are the
there. So,
statutory registers.
you cannot design the
Yes.
formats are little complex. So many data has to be there. So what normally we do, purchase a ready-made stationary register and maintain it. Okay. So this is also you can ask in the law book that I want statutory register. He'll be giving a register on where all these things will be contained. A small company can manage with this, but the big company they have to print their own. Right.
Okay. Right, sir.
Understood. Now here in our syllabus, what is there is register of members. But in addition to that, we need to know these are the registers which are required to maintain. In addition to the certain books also company needs to maintain, like minute books. Have you ever seen a minute book?
We know minutes, sir, but a book separate we have not seen.
Okay, then I'll try
Minutes
to show
of
you.
meeting.
Just wait a minute. I'll
Okay.
try to show you how it looks like.
Okay, sir.
Is it important to me also? I want to see the
Yeah.
minutes book.
Why?
Yes, important for everyone here.
Why, Manu bhai?
अरे भाई कौन चालू
You see, this book is called minute book.
Sir.
Are you able to see? This is minute book. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You see, this minutes of a particular company is documented here.
Okay. So and so date and what are the points?
This is a statutory book. Okay,
Okay.
this is statutory book. This is a minute. How many directors are present? How many absent? What is the decisions? All these things are here.
Sir,
Okay.
first minuted, then binded, or a binded book they write minutes, sir.
Now, the legal requirement is that you can print, but
Okay.
within 6 months, that has to be transferred to a bound book. आप मिनट को नॉर्मल कागज में प्रिंट कर सकते हैं, but that needs binding within 6 months. So normally what we do, एक bound book पे उसको फिर 6 महीने के अंदर उसको पेस्ट कर देते हैं. साइन करने के बाद ये सारी पेस्ट.
अच्छा अच्छा. ओके ओके.
मिनट बुक
तो
will
उसको
be
पेस्ट
bound.
करना पड़ता है अंदर.
हाँ, उसको पेस्ट करना.
ओके. ठीक है सर. नो वी गॉट इट.
Okay, so this is again one more thing. Company needs to maintain minute book. Then other than that, books of accounts, normal accounting books, financial statements, you know, cash book, bank book, etc. You must have seen those things as to be maintained,
Okay, sir.
right? So
Yes, sir.
then some other records also company need to maintain, like income record, how company is generating income, that record needs to maintain. Purchase records, cash records, banking records, all these documents also company has to maintain. Right? So we must have an idea that these are the things if you are starting any kind of company, these things you need to maintain. And of which our syllabus says what is members register. Members register means it's a list of members, or you can say list of shareholders. that has to maintain in a particular form. The form is provided in the law that is called as MGT1. Okay. In that register, this should be the content of the register of the members. Right. This members register what I showed you. All these data should be available there. Like name of the member, address, email address, permanent account number or corporate identification number, unique identification number if any, father's, mother's, spouse name, occupation, status, nationality. In case of member is a minor, then name of the guardian, date of birth of the member, name and address of the nominee, date of becoming member, date of cessation if the member leaves, the date of cessation, amount of guarantee if any other interest if any, instructions if any given by the member with regard to sending notices. A member has specified that all notices should be sent to me by email only, like this. Okay, so this kind of thing, everything should be contained in the member register. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any query you have regarding members register?
No, sir.
Okay, fine.
Sir, director also can have some shares, sir, in that company.
Yeah, it is up to him. He can have some shares.
Okay. Okay.
It is up
So
to
these
him.
members also can become directors if they
Yeah,
have
member
DIN
can
and
become
all.
director. You see, all private sector companies, directors are members.
Sir. Members. Okay.
Isn't it? Directors are members. Not only members, they hold a substantial part of the share.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Most of the companies.
Thank
Why
you.
private sector in the listed company? Take an example of Reliance and its all these the group companies.
Sure.
Everywhere directors are members only. They control almost, you can say, around 30% of the shareholding is controlled by them.
Yeah, majority shareholding.
Sir.
There.
Right.
Sir,
It is not
could you please
exactly
share the
majority. Yeah. Okay. एक
hello
minute.
sir, could you please share the minutes of that book format, sir?
Minute or shareholders format.
The minutes of meeting format, minutes of
Minutes
shareholder
meeting, what
format.
actually happens, minute has no format as such. So every company write in its own style. But what the company should write exactly, then the date, time, how many people are present, what is the quorum, who was the chairperson in that meeting, and what are the resolutions passed. Date, time, this should be there. There is no format as such. But if you want, I can share with you a sample minute. Maybe one in a slide, I will put one sample photo. That I will do. Okay, one slide I will
That's
be
fine,
showing
sir.
you an example of a sample minute book. That will be helpful. Similarly, I will try to put the shareholders register also on sample. That will also
Please, sir.
that will also be maybe helpful. I will be trying to send the slides today. So in those slides, all these things
Okay,
will be
sir.
there. Okay, and some other questions was coming from somebody else. Any other question? So with this directors part and register, shareholders register, this part is over. Now,
This meeting.
yeah, now we'll be
Okay.
moving to the next part. This is about the meeting. Okay, I'm sharing a different file with you now.
Annual general meeting, notice of meeting, quorum for meeting, chairman.
Okay, just wait a minute. Let me share the file with you. Are you able to see the slide?
Yes. No, sir. Your desktop
sir.
is
Yes, sir.
visible, sir.
My desktop.
Quorum for meetings.
Now it is
Quorum
The
for
quorum
meetings.
for the meeting. Are you
quorum
seeing
for
it?
meeting.
It is taking some transmission time.
Okay.
Okay. So before entering into the meeting part, we need to understand what are the prerequisites of a meeting. You are able to see it, prerequisites of a meeting.
Yes, sir. Prerequisite of
Prerequisites of a meeting. Okay, so you see, meetings can be different kind of meetings. So we'll be covering all these things. That is, let us say, shareholders meeting, board meeting, class meeting, all these things. But there are certain activities which needs to be done before meeting, certain activities which needs to be done during meeting, and some things needs to be done post meeting. So before meeting, what is required is that proper notice. What is required as per the law needs to be sent. That notice is required. Then if certain, let us say, special resolution needs to be passed in those kind of situation, along with the notice, and explanatory statement needs to be sent. Okay, are you getting? Are you getting? Yeah, are you getting?
Slide also one. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah, is it visible to you?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Only
You are not seeing the file. I think some network problem or something.
no, sir. Sharing has stopped, sir.
Yeah, you are able
Slide
to
is
see the
not shared.
files, or you are only seeing my video.
Seeing your video, sir.
only
Acha, my
They're
video
able to
only
see
you are
your
seeing.
video.
Okay, I'm once again trying to share the file. Yeah, is it?
Yes, yes.
Are you able to see it? Acha.
Yeah, now it
Yes,
is
sir.
visible. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. So let us see. Well, friends, these are certain activities which needs to be done before meeting, like notice. Notice is one thing needs to be sent, and if certain kind of transactions or certain resolution needs to be passed through special resolutions, that means 3/4 majority is required. Right? In that case, along with the notice, one explanatory statement needs to be submitted. So this aspect you will be understanding, notice and explanatory statement. Then during the meeting, first of all, quorum has to be tested. We need to understand at what point of time quorum needs to be tested. Whether quorum needs to last throughout the meeting, or at the beginning, or at the end, at the middle, that aspect we have to see. Then who will be the chairperson or chairman of the meeting? That concept we have to understand. Is it possible to appoint somebody as proxy during the meeting? Then how voting will be done in the meeting? That aspect also we need to understand. Voting. Then how resolutions can be passed? That aspect you will be learning. Okay, is it clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then once the meeting is over, the minutes needs to be drafted. Okay. Then maintenance and inspection of the documents. Who can inspect these minutes of the documents? That aspect has to be covered. So in all these things are normally related with a meeting. So to the extent it is there in your syllabus, we'll be covering all these things. Okay. So first, coming to the type of meetings. So there are 3 types of meeting, but in your syllabus, incidentally, only this shareholders meeting or general meeting is there. So we'll be learning that. So it is a meeting of the members, right? So, and the board meeting is a meeting of the shareholders. And when you come to the class meeting, that means it may be a meeting of a particular group of persons. The group is called as a class. Like it may be meeting of the creditors, it may be meeting of the preference shareholders, like this. Okay, they will be called as class meetings. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right. Now, before this meeting, first thing what is required is the notice needs to be sent. And here, what is the requirement of the law? If it is a general meeting, then at least 21 clear days. Mind you, the law says clear date. Clear days means the date of dispatch of notice and date of receipt of the notice, that has to be excluded. In between, there should be 21 days. Okay. Okay. That's why law uses the
Okay.
clear days. Date of dispatch and date of receipt, exclude both the things. In between, 21 days should be there. If it is not there, then it is an invalid notice. So most of the notices of the Companies Act, you have to say 21 clear days. In certain situation, it is possible to give certain notices, but in that case, we need approval of the shareholders. We'll be learning that thing in our next class. And to whom notice has to be given? To every members or their legal representatives in case members are deceased, to any assignee, if somebody has assigned his membership to some other person in case of insolvency, then to auditors and to all directors. These are the people to whom notices has to be given. And notice has to be given in writing or in electronic mode or other prescribed. Okay, so this is the summary of the notice. Next class we will be covering in detail, right, how to manage the meeting. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we'll be stopping here today. Next class, maybe day after tomorrow. Again, we'll catch up. We'll be covering in detail what is the quorum, how, and the other things which are there in the syllabus. With that,
One thing, sir.
yes, please.
Volume 5, sir. Kindly send, sir.
Volume.
Volume 5, sir.